Fast and Furious, a franchise about cars and street racing, which somehow turned into whatever this shit is. Dom always cared for his family, but the scriptwriters couldn't care less about physics. But I do care, just enough to make a video about it.
Lick the case, Gucci bit, wait. Diamond brace, sip the fifth, and I'ma stay, wait.
Starting with the runway chase in Fast and Furious 6. The runway is bigger than my parents' disappointment in me. The plane shown is an Antonov N-124. It reaches 160 to 180 miles per hour before takeoff, but it's still on the ground, so let's assume its speed is 72 meters per second. The chase lasts 13 minutes or 780 seconds, so 72 into 780 gives us that the runway was 35 miles. Right? Wrong. The cars were right on the plane's tail, which means the plane was going much slower than 72 meters per second and was closer to the speed of the cars in the scene. Some of them were the Dodge Charger, BMW M5, Nissan GTR. Their top speed ranges from 130 to 180 miles per hour, which gives us an average of 52 meters per second. If we multiply that with 780 seconds, the runway comes out to be 25 miles. By the way, the real world's longest runway is only 3.4 miles long. The runway and the franchise both should have ended a long time ago. There is an application called BeamNG and it's super good at car crashes and collisions. When a car collides, it even specifies which part of the car is damaged. Even though these real-time simulations are not as precise as ANSYS because a car crash in ANSYS would take days to simulate, but BeamNG is still pretty close because it uses the simplified real-time approach of FEA, using soft body physics. This is the Cauchy momentum equation. It describes how forces act on a material causing it to deform over time. But the issue is solving this precisely for something as complex as a car crash is incredibly slow. BeamNG simplifies this using a spring mass system rather than computing every microscopic deformation. It treats the car structure as a flexible lattice of connected points and struts. When the car crashes, these struts stretch and compress, simulating how metal bends in real life. This method allows BeamNG to achieve realistic looking damage in real time. Now that we have a place where we can crash cars, I will do the most logical thing. Remake the environment from the movies and test if the cars survive or not. Starting with the most recent movie Fast X, we see Dom with his kid driving down a dam. There are a lot of reasons why this is not possible. A muscle car is not a Formula 1 car. These cars don't produce enough downforce, so in this scene the car shouldn't even be gripping onto the dam. Instead, it should start spinning and tumbling down. This is an illustration of how this whole thing looks like. At point X, the car transitions from going down to driving flat, but in real life, even after considering the curve, the car would experience a minimum of 5.6 Gs. Pilots wear G-suits to handle this much G-force, but Dom was wearing a black t-shirt. You know who else wears a black t-shirt? John Wick, and both are invincible. So which one is it? The white t-shirt has the power of family or the power of John Wick? No one would tell us, and it's all because of the fucking government.
My fellow Americans, I have not been entirely truthful with you.
The black t-shirt contains the power of...
So I looked up what dam it was, and it is... I replicated the dam in Blender using curves and set its height to 140 meters. Why? Because that's how tall the dam is. Next, I used the subdivision surface modifier to make it smoother and exported it in Collada file format. Then I imported the model in BeamNG, placed a similar car on top and accelerated. Guess what? The car tumbled. And it's crushed. But there is one way to survive this. You need to wear the black t-shirt with the power of family. In Fate of the Furious, Dom escapes a heat-seeking missile. On average, a heat-seeking missile speed is 2 to 4 Mach, and Dom is able to escape it in a Dodge Charger. This is how much time it takes for a car going at 250 miles per hour to cover a distance of 1 kilometer. And this is the speed of an average... Oh, we are already done. But let's ignore the physics, cause he was wearing a black t-shirt
with the power of family.
In Fast and Furious 6, Dom crashes his car, the inertia throws him in the air to catch Letty. Then he falls on another car and both of them survive. But why is his car crashing twice? In this scene, Dom wasn't even wearing his black t-shirt, he was wearing a white t-shirt. Wait, does John Wick wear a white tee? All I have to say is this movie really captures the gritty essence of underground street racing scene in LA.